Okay, go
Hi,
ahead.
Kayla and Chelsea. And
Hey.
I'm not talking to myself.
Hey.
Or are you? Yes, welcome back to another episode of the Modern Agent Marketing Girls podcast. We have Chelsea Harold here today. She's been a lifelong member, it feels like. Probably not actually lifelong, but a longtime member of Modern Agent Social Club. And Chelsea, I don't know if you know this. It's going to be confusing today, by the way, but you'll figure out who I'm talking to. A while ago, we did a poll on Instagram saying, okay, tell us like your favorite agents to follow. And Chelsea Peterson, how many people did we have say Chelsea Harold?
Like 35.
Listen, I'm not
So
joking.
many. Yeah. So we're like, we have to interview you. We have to know all your secrets. And you just have such a fun personality to follow on social media that we really want to hear everything you have to say when it comes to marketing and modern agent things and real estate things. And I want to dive right into one of my favorite things, which is a community you've built online, but also locally, which is your Colorado Girl Gang
Yes.
and Bay Day. So tell us what that is, how you did it, all the things.
So I have had Facebook groups since they weren't cool. So for years. So like Colorado Girl Gang is like an iteration of several other groups like in different chapters of my life, but Colorado Girl Gang has encompassed, I think, all women, all chapters. I previously had like one that was just geared towards military wives when I was one, and then I had one that was just for female entrepreneurs. And as I've grown and evolved, those spaces didn't fit anymore. And so I was like, I need a place for everyone. All these women. Women just love community. I wanted something fun, something cheeky. So Colorado Girl Gang, that is how it came to be. I think 2018 or 19 is when that one started. And around COVID, it started to blow up really quickly. So I implemented like a $2 donation, which goes to my moderators because it was blowing up.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's a great
So
idea.
I didn't want to blow up. I wanted it to be people who want to be there for the right reasons. With Facebook groups, I've noticed that there's a lot of people who just come in and spam or like love to start drama, but they don't love to start drama if you make them donate $2.
That's so
So
smart.
yeah, so now, after all these years, I guess 6, 7 years, we're at like 11,000 members. And then the big thing we do every single year is Bay Day. So Bay Day is our Galentine's event. There's so many Galentine's events that I was like, we have to differentiate ourselves. And Bay Day is actually what I used to call my best friend day with my bestie. Like we'd have Bay Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I stole it from that, and basically we have women-owned businesses come in. So we'll do like makeup, permanent jewelry. We've had flower bars, hair bars, like all the different things. Whatever I can think of, we always have tarot. Everyone loves that. I have like photo opportunities, and it's all women-based businesses for women. So it's just to celebrate friendship, womanhood, like
Yeah.
womanhood, the whole thing. Anyway, and then we briefly had Camp Bay Day, which I was pregnant for two of them and then nursing for another. And I decided I actually don't like camping while I'm leaking milk, so uh, so I let that one go. Um, we would go to the mountains and we would disconnect for the entire weekend. I would convince women to come in the mountains.
That's so cool.
Luckily, it was a YMCA, so like the roads were mostly like good to go, and we would be there for 3 days, and have so many activities that were just meant to like tighten relationships and
Yeah.
make you more confident as a woman. Like women were learning how to do archery and axe throwing and these rope courses.
I want to go. That
Yeah,
sounds
that
like so
sounds
much fun.
super fun. I love the camp theme too. That's
Yes.
such a fun theme.
Yeah, so yeah, we're like Bay Day was so big. It sells out every single year. I was doing it in Denver. I was doing it in NoCo. And so I was like, let's just take it to the next level with Camp Bay Day. But listen, I've
Yeah.
never once done acts. I didn't do one single thing because I was either pregnant or sitting
Yeah.
there with like to nursing. Like I was pumping milk the whole
Right.
time. So I was like, this is just not it for the chapter that I'm in. But
Yep.
yeah, so that's basically all of those things.
I love
So
that.
how does that, so you never said anything about real estate in this, which is
Yeah.
the point. It's the whole point.
Oh.
But how does that translate into your real estate business and
So-
what you do online?
Yes. Okay. I actually don't overly say that I'm a realtor in this group. I never have. So the way I like kind of use it to grow my business is since the beginning, I've been a realtor now coming up in September for 10 years. I have poured into other women-owned businesses. I've collaborated with them. And as I've grown, I've helped them grow. And as a result, businesses naturally come to me. So I've always kind of been in the idea of like give, be of service of others. And I think you'll see that I'm a realtor only because I luckily have a fan club of women who've trusted me over the years in my group. And that was all just like from interactions from our events, our groups. I used to do just like monthly events where I would find women-owned business and do it there. So I helped them build, they helped me build. And I met women there who eventually would become home buyers. And now they're just loyal fans. So like my community is really meant to serve my community, and in turn, it's always helped me. The only place you'll see that I'm a realtor is I have a rental thread, and it says if you are done renting and you want to buy a house, call me and my team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't overly. I think I've maybe shared a couple listings here and there, but I don't have to use my community to grow. It naturally like brings me business.
See, and I feel like so many people are listening right now, slamming on their brakes, being like, what? She's got 11,000 people in a group and she's not telling them every day that she's a real estate agent, but it works, right?
Why? No one.
You don't have to.
I think Chelsea has said this. Like, who wants to be friends with a walking billboard? Like, if we're only talking about real estate, it's so gross and icky. And I don't want people to think that I'm supporting them for the sake of business.
Yes.
That's not like what I'm doing.
You can see through that so fast. Like I'm in this for what's in it for me. If someone's like that, I feel like you can see through it immediately. It's like that, that friend who texts you out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, do you like your cleaning products?" And you're like, "What?" Like, "Oh yeah, I have this really nice organic line." And I'm like, "Wait, I haven't even talked to you for like 10 years."
Right.
Like that's like the last thing you want to be. People run for the hills. And I feel like what you've done is you've made people gravitate to you, and then that turns into natural business.
Yes, and just being of service will naturally, like, if you care about others, they'll ask you, "What do you do?" I don't have to tell anyone what I do. They'll just caring about others, they'll care about you. And I think that's like the exact opposite of every brokerage's training. They want you to like I briefly was at a big brokerage and they made me call everyone on my phone, including my grandmother. And my grandma was like, "Are you sick? Why are you calling me with this script?" It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
Just be a genuine human. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Have you always done it this way then? Or, I mean, you kind of, okay, so and somehow it's always worked for you because you're a very successful agent.
For the last 10 years, that's literally it. My whole plan is be of service. So a women-owned business would open up and they would be slow. I'd say, let's go bring the girls. We'll do like a happy hour. We'll have someone come and do like a braid bar, or like we can like whatever like I've done more than one like med spa like party for one that's opened. And I greet everyone. I order food from a local owned business. I now use some of that $2 that donations that I get to like help me, but I was always paying for the stuff. So like for people to come, and never once did I say like sponsored by Chelsea, because like listen, it doesn't like it will come back to me. It always will. So throwing $100 for like a charcuterie board for the girls to come to Jessica's med spa, like whatever, it will come back. And Jessica will remember this moment and will always send me clients as a thank you. And I never once had to say I was a realtor the entire time. I just had normal conversations. That was it.
Yeah.
I love this.
I feel like it takes a certain level of patience. Like that is the long game, right? Because it'd be a lot faster for you to just start telling everyone you're a realtor and calling everybody. And you probably would get some business from that, but they're probably not going to be loyal. Yeah,
People
but
think
it's
it will
not.
be faster.
And those people that would work with you aren't going to use you again. They're going to forget who you are, or they're going to, I'll just do it by myself next time. I don't need this. They're not loyal, but you're attracting loyal people through your brand, which is so great.
Yeah, I'm super lucky that like like we've all been on Facebook. Does anyone have a realtor? I am lucky that when it happens in my group, I have a loyal fan base that will just straight up Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. And I've often shared it on my stories. I'll screenshot all the girls who will say my name. And so I don't have to be on 24/7 anymore, which makes it like very easy for me to have a life. I used to just like be on my group and like of course I'm looking if you ask. If I and I've learned like over years you could obviously farm Facebook groups. You could search for like people who are looking to rent, who are moving to the state. And obviously Colorado Girl Gang, that's like you search Colorado Facebook groups, I show up right away. And I'm a large group. So yeah, I could probably do more than I do, but I'm also at my limit even with the team. So,
That's
so it's
awesome.
all the long game, like we're in it for the long game and it's like you said, built a loyal base. So would I like to help everyone in the whole state? Sure. Do I have the time? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And also like every girl in my group's probably they're not all for me. I think like that's the other thing. Like I don't really like just because you're in my group, if you're not into like what I'm saying and doing, we're probably not it anyway, and it's going to be a miserable experience for both of us. So I guess it's really just not having that scarcity mindset. Like there's 11,000 women. I'm not the only realtor in my group. I'm not the only realtor who gets business in my group.
How far into your real estate career did you start the Facebook group?
So I had probably my first or second year, I had a different group that was geared towards entrepreneurs. That was Denver Boss Babe Collective. It's still living. It's just not mine anymore. And so I did it within the first 2 years. And what I did there was I would basically, again, go work with women-owned businesses. We had a lady who owned a paint and sip place. So I would do monthly masterminds. I would take someone who was an expert in something that was related to female entrepreneurs, whether you were in real estate or not. So like we had like finances for the solo entrepreneur. We've had like mindset workshops, different things to help benefit. Like we've had social media ones, which I could, obviously help teach too, but workshops that were geared towards female business owners. And then again, that I only just poured into female business owners, and in turn they poured into me. Most still are in business, which is so rare. It's been a decade. I think most fail within the first year, and then after year 5, it's lucky to like if you're still around.
Right.
As a female entrepreneur in general. So
the stats are really low.
Yeah. So that's basically what I did. It's always been geared towards women, and pouring into my community.
I love that that's your mission, that your mission is more than, I'm going to help you find your dream home. It's like I'm pouring into women-owned businesses as a whole. Okay, so take us through. So the other thing I think you did semi-recently is didn't you take over a local account on Instagram?
I did.
So,
yeah.
Are you still doing that?
I'm still doing it, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that and what I'm talking about.
So it's new to town Denver. It was, someone else had it. She previously helped me. So she previously helped me make content is how I met this girl. We do the 12 days of Christmas, and I love the 12 days of Christmas, but I have babies and a business, and it's very hard to do. So I hired someone to help me, and I noticed she was not in the state, and I said, "Are you moving?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "I will take New to Town Denver. Let me have it." So I took it over. I've had it since January, and we are in May. So what I've done is I've basically tried to make it my own, and I haven't 100% like started weaving in real estate. How I've been doing it is I'm continuing to support local business. I announced, "Hey, I'm Chelsea. I'm a realtor. I took this over. You're going to see me and more of my team." So we've been doing that. We've been posting the business things in the areas we work. And I've just started to like make different carousels like this and screaming, "I live here now," with the Colorado sign.
Yes.
And I've been sharing the relocation guide that I've made. I made one for Denver. I made one for Northern Colorado. And then when we started doing house tours, I started showing like, here's the new construction in this area and here's what's nearby, because I'm going to show you the businesses and I'm going to show you the houses.
Yeah.
And so I've started to use that and utilize the freebies to add these people to my database. And I'm slowly like working. It was never a real estate page, but I'm going to try and utilize it the best I can, to take all those local followers and show them like, hey, you love all this content. Great. You're going to love me too.
Yes,
Now
exactly.
come over here.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about, even the Colorado Girl Gang group, because I think, you know, agents either over advertise themselves and they come on too strong and scare everybody away, or they never tell anyone anything. And it's like, well, there can be a happy medium. And I think there are ways to provide something of value, whether it's like a local guide or a summer guide or whatever else, like a relocation guide. And that doesn't come across as pushy. That comes across as, hey, I got this for you. All you have to, I'll email it to you. No problem. You know,
I drop all my seasonal guides in my group. I do that.
Okay, good.
Good. I don't have a relocation guide in there, but I do, like, they love the fall guide. That's really like number one fall guide. And then the only other one that I get the most downloads from in my group is the Future Home Buyer Club, because it is women who like, I would like to be a homeowner. And so I have utilized it that way. But again, I just try to come from a place of service. Like, that is me giving you the information. I add you to my like little club, my little database. And hopefully we're a fit. But I'm never like overly like, hey, you know, in your face about it.
Yeah.
That's what so they're for. Yeah, the value driven. So what do you do? So you have that account that you took over, you have your Facebook group, and then you have your own Instagram account, and you have a team. Like, talk us through what you do on your own Instagram, I guess, first, and then I want to get into your team.
So you want to know like how I do my Instagram?
Yeah, like tell us, like, if someone were to come take a little sneak peek of your Instagram, what would they find?
You're going to find local stuff sprinkled in there as well. You're going to find I feel like I've had my same Instagram since high school. So if you scroll back far enough, you'll find the ugliest things you've ever seen. Like when we used to take pictures of food, or like the terrible filters.
Yep.
So
Valencia.
Yes.
That was the one.
My Instagram is like an evolution of me as a person. You know, when I first started real estate, it was like terrible, like just a picture of a Pinterest house. Isn't this so cute, guys? Like, that was it. There was no anything. I didn't know
context.
So it's like evolved over time. And now I would say the one thing is I've stayed transparent on stories for the last 10 years. I would bring people behind the scenes. And so people have watched me grow and evolve to see like the whole process. And so really you'll see like the behind the scenes of my life, like every single day of like what I'm actually doing. You're in my house. It's like I'm talking to you like you're my best friend. And then my Instagram is just filled with, of course, cute houses. And then the girls, and I live on a farm. So the goats are really what everyone's coming for.
Yep.
I think they come for the goats and they stay for the real estate.
Yes.
That's, you know.
That could be your slogan, your bio. Come for the goats, stay for the real estate.
Yeah. So, you know, I try to like always highlight local businesses, show my day in the life, and then show like client stories, like their success stories. Most of my clients I've worked with for years before they were officially a home buyer. So I kind of try to show that, like, we met and had a Zoom call in 2020, and then by 2023 they were finally ready, and here's what we did to like get into a house. Or same for like the selling. You know, this was their first house. They were able to get equity to, you know, pay down medical bills, put their kids in school, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I really just try to like make everything's very humanized. I'm not here for anything fancy. I don't need the clout. I don't really care if you think I don't do a good job or sell. Like, if you don't think I sell enough houses, I know I'm doing a good job and I sell enough houses. So really it's like very, I would say, like a heart-driven Instagram account where you're seeing like me as a person, my life, my family, my farm, and my business, as well as like the community I live in. So that's really what it is.
Do you notice that you work with a lot of clients who trust you up front before you ever even like sit down with them?
Always, always.
Because of
And they
this?
say, and we meet, and they're like, I feel like I know you. And I'm like, I feel like I know you. Like, that's just how it is. And I tend to forget that I didn't meet them prior because we're so ingrained in each other's life. I think I posted it once, like, our parents lied. The best thing in the world was meeting people online.
Right.
The thing we were told not to do.
Right.
Yes, that's awesome. I met my husband on the internet, so I totally agree with you.
Yes, I love that.
That's so
That's
cool.
so funny. It is a weird dynamic having, like I was saying the other day, I feel like my life is talking to people that aren't really my real friends all the time.
Yeah.
But they like are my friends, but they don't live here. We don't hang out together. Like, but that's who I consume content from, and that's who I talk to in the DMs, and that's like who I'm looking at, which I think is really fun and cool. But
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
something different. It's different.
Yes.
So can I ask Chelsea, I mean, with all of these accounts, how much time are you actually spending on Instagram? Or how much time are you actually spending just marketing your business in an average week anyway? Because you're busy with your kids, you're busy with the farm, and you're busy with your business, all of that. How do you balance that?
Well, if you ask my husband, it's all day. But no, I really, so I wake up, I try to have the mornings with the babies. And then I don't have childcare. I have 25 hours of childcare total, and that's mostly for my toddler. My mother-in-law only just started taking the baby, and then the babysitter is like doing a couple hours here and there with the baby. So basically, after the girls are gone, I have a rough idea of what I want to do. I kind of put stuff in drafts whenever I have like time. I'll just draft carousels, post on Canva, like wherever I can. I just like put it all over the place. And so I spend probably about an hour. So I'll post on my account and then the New to Town Denver. And then I'm engaging my Facebook group. I have an Instagram account for that too, but we are a Facebook community, so I don't use the Instagram as much. I just kind of trickle stuff in.
Yeah.
So I make sure I like wake up, I check my Facebook group with 11,000 women. There's nonstop posts to be approved. Tons of messages of people like, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
So I would say I spend like probably an hour, hour and a half making content and then checking on all the things, engaging. And then obviously Modern Agent Social Club helps with that. So I think pre-Modern Agent Social Club, I was having to like keep up on the trends, see what works, what doesn't work, and like thinking of all these ideas, whereas like now I can just take these ideas that are given to me and make them my own. And that really kind of helps me make the most of my time, because I mean right now I have 20 active clients, so
Gosh, that's awesome.
that paperwork alone is a lot.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, and I was going to ask you about that too, which by the way, for anyone listening, we mentioned all of these guides earlier. All of those are through Modern Agent Social Club too. But Chelsea, you have told me before that Chelsea Harold was actually doing really well on Instagram even before she joined. But then, like, so what was that, Chelsea Harold? What was that? Like, how did Modern Agent actually help you? Like, or did you see a need for it because you already had an idea?
Really quick.
Yeah, tell the story.
Okay, so we were friends on Instagram for a while, and I was like, you are like the perfect fit for Modern Agent. But I feel like people think Modern Agent is for like beginners, and if I'm not a beginner, I don't need Modern Agent. And I was like, okay, if only people like her could get in here, the way they would use it is the way I intended in la la la. And then so we had a conversation, and you asked me like, is this like for more, an advanced user? And I was like, yes, like this is who I want use it. I mean, it's for beginners too. It's for whoever. There's a roadmap for all of you. But I was like, you're kind of like the definition of like, you're going to come in here and really utilize it the way it was meant to be used. And so then you joined, and you've been a member ever since. And I think that was like 2019. So it's been quite a long time. But that's how this all came to be, with us communicating. And for a while I was like, I could never see her joining because she probably thinks it's not for her. And so you've honestly been someone in my mind that as we've like evolved our marketing over the years, I think of like people like Chelsea, what messaging makes sense for them, because it's not really the beginner all the time that we're trying to talk to, you know? It's like the agent who is super busy and needs help and needs to save time with it all, because your full-time job is real estate, not Instagram content. So
Yes, I will say, like, I was getting leads on social media prior. That was the only, like, I mean, between Facebook and Instagram, that is how I grew my business, other than like the in-person stuff. And so, like, if you're on the fence about Modern Agent, join it, because eventually you're going to reach a point where you're too busy. That's really where it is. I utilize it to maintain my life. I can't sit up and after the girls go to sleep and just think about what to do on social media. So it's really helped me make the most of my time. So I would say that's exactly what it is. Like, I was always doing really good on social media, but I was also spending so much time reading everything Adam, whatever his name is, Masari. Like, I'm reading all of this. I'm reading every blog, and I don't TikTok. I can't do it, but I'm here for Instagram, and Instagram's easier for me to like understand, absorb, but there's a lot of research that goes into everything that goes on there. And it's obviously always changing, especially like since TikTok's come into play and all those different things. Obviously, like, Instagram, I guess, is what, like, we're like the B squad of the trends, whatever. I don't care. Modern Agents got it for me. Like, whenever I get the trend, I'm fine. I'll do the trend. We'll get on it. But also, like, those needle pushing things, like, how do I take what I'm doing and make it convert? How do I make it convert?
Right.
And that's a lot of prep. I mean, you are the two ladies behind the scenes doing that, so you understand. But like, I don't have the time for it. So it's definitely helped me. I reached a point where that's no longer something I can do on top of my clients, on top of my children. So that's really like how I've utilized it. And it's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer. Like, join Modern Agent Social Club. It is really
There's our commercial break.
yeah, commercial break.
It's
I
a
love it.
no-brainer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, as time goes on, do I want to dance online all day and read about how to do the dancing? I don't know.
No. Yep.
So it's nice to like plug and play. I have loads of content. I'm not making content all day. So I'm just plugging and playing and reusing and reusing and reusing, and it's fine.
Yeah.
What is one of your like favorite styles of content to do? Like day in the life, whatever, like anything like that. Like carousels versus reels. Like, what are your like, this is so fun, I love creating or like implementing this?
I love day in the life, but that's a lot of work. So I will like film it, and then I have to find the time to edit it. Honestly, I just like, the best thing is like those 5-second clips where I'm walking, I'm doing something like B-roll. B-roll is so easy. I'll just make B-roll and throw the caption. Like, listen, sometimes I make stuff and I'm like, this is gonna break the internet, and then I find out it does not.
We all feel that way.
I get like really excited, like, definitely like easy B-roll, because like the juice I'm pouring in this caption.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love stories. If I never had to make a post, I wouldn't. But really, stories is where the magic is anyway. And everything's content, so it's easy. Like, I have days where I haven't washed my hair in a week, and I'm still showing up because it's just like, hey, I made my coffee. Hey, I'm sitting here with like the baby on my lap while I get the work done, like whatever it is. Stories. I love stories. And my husband has to like rein me in sometimes because I'm not a full-time influencer.
I think you are.
Listen, I think I'm Savon Ayla, like, all the time.
I love her.
Yeah, yes. I love Savon, and I'm like, I'm Savon, and like, kids, do you want to see my outfits today? And most of the time they're like, what's today's sweatpants that I'm wearing? 'Cause
right.
I'm stuck here behind the computer. Yes. The team is out mostly doing showings now.
That's awesome. So tell us about your team and tell us about your rebrand. Like, how did all this come about? Because your colors and your signage and all of that are so memorable. They really stand out from what most agents have.
Thank you.
If you're watching on YouTube, we are all wearing on-brand colors for Chelsea.
There you go.
I'm in yellow citron. Chelsea's in pink, Kayla's in purple. Yeah, but I love your rebrand. I said you like had a B-roll clip of your sign in a yard, and I was like, I want you to be my agent just so I can have that sign
Yep.
in my yard.
I was like so proud putting that sign up. So I have been in real estate for 10 years. I grew the team, and everything's been very bootstrap. I've been like the Canva queen for years. And I was like, this isn't, my outsides do not reflect my insides. And
Yeah.
so I was following Blueprint Branding. Caroline is she's like on our modern agent like sphere. Like she gets
I
the
love
stuff.
her.
Her emails are so good. Everything's so good. Like she's always teaching you how to position yourself, and like she's speaking our language. And I was like, I love this lady. So I reached out to her, and obviously she's doing what people ask. And I was like, can you do color? Because everyone's not color. Can you do color? She's like, please let me do color.
Yeah.
So I told her I wanted something bold, and animated but refined, and like I'm okay with retro, something boldly confident, like
Yep.
confidently feminine. I don't want any more black and gold. Like I don't know why this is like synced with luxury, and
Right.
and the red and blue gag me with it. I'm just done. Though red and blue are in my colors, but
Yeah.
so
Here is a little sneak peek.
Little glimpse.
yes,
So
that's my
good.
email signature. Yeah. So the colors are how Caroline has labeled them: lipstick, which is red, orchid, lemon, fern,
Ooh, lemon.
lavender, and then azure blue, basically.
Blue.
Ooh, I love
Um,
it so much.
I love all of those names.
Yes,
So
and
good.
yes, so like I only think of my brand colors in these names now. And so she came up with that first like iteration, and I was like, no notes, let's go, let's do this. And then listen, if you are looking for rebranding, please call Blueprint because she's incredible. So
Love it.
she made so much mock-ups of like future things, like of my cards. Okay, so like speaking of black and gold, like it was me. It was me.
Yeah,
It
that
was
doesn't
me.
look anything like you, your
No.
I know.
style. That
I
is a
know.
really cute picture, though.
Thank you. And so now like we have these hologram ones that are red, and like
Yeah.
yeah, like they're
I
so
love.
she made all these little brand marks for Harold Homes, like little H's.
I
I have
love
like
it.
endless cute stuff that she had made. We now have cute hats and stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I just wanted something different. So like the sign took the longest. I started doing this when I was pregnant last year, and the last thing was the sign. And she kept sending me stuff, and I said, "It's not it. We're so close. It's not it. It's not it." And then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna have the baby. Like, let's take a breather. I will come back. We'll use the black and gold signs, whatever."
Yeah.
I had the baby, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, "I know what it should be." And I
Oh my
emailed
gosh,
her.
this happens all the time. Yes.
Yes, I emailed her right away, and I was like, "Here's what it should be. Please show me what that looks like." She made it. I go, "That's it, done." Printed it, and I couldn't wait to put it in someone's yard. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
my husband did that, filmed me. I was like so proud to put that in the world. So
That's so cool.
So
What a good
cool.
feeling, too. The confidence is like, what is it? What is it? Priceless.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Priceless.
and I just like you drive by that, and you're like, I won't forget that now. Like
No.
it is a beautiful sign, and it's not boring. And I have like two girls who are like, I love to wear black, and I'm like, sorry, for branding, we're not wearing it. We're not doing it. There's too
Yeah.
many girls on the internet wearing all black, and it's not remarkable. I'm so sorry.
However,
Yep.
quick PSA, do not copy Chelsea's colors of lemon, azure,
Right.
orchid.
Fern,
Find your own colors, but go in with that like, and that's some people that's not their vibe. Like I feel like the color fits you so much. Like in it, if this is where the like copying doesn't work, because like someone else tries to do it and it's like, no, that's not you. That's Chelsea Harold,
Yep.
but it's not you. So how do you do your whole team situation? What's like, how do you navigate it? How did you grow it? Like
So-
how do you? I feel like you're juggling a lot.
Thank you. I am juggling a lot. So the team kind of grew out of necessity. So I had a girl, she's not with me anymore, Hannah, but when Hannah was 16, I was her boss. I worked at a mall kiosk, and she was like, she saw me doing the thing. She's like, you're gonna be the team leader now. But I also like I resisted the word team for so long. So we were just like this duo. And then I got pregnant and I was so busy. I mean, you guys aren't in Colorado, but I would basically drive like the whole state in one day. And I was like, I can't do this when I have a baby. And, Hannah was trying to help as much as she could. And I've never put out an ad, but I put out an ad. And I basically, for those who don't know, I'm a Capricorn. So I'm kind of a little tough. And I was like, I'm not going to hold your hand. You got to want to work. This, I was like, only one person's going to respond. And
My husband's a Capricorn.
Yes. I was like, only one person's going to respond, and that's going to be the person because this is the meanest, rudest job ad anyone's ever seen. And that was my girl, Jacqueline. So Jacqueline joined me, stayed with me while I was pregnant. And then over time, everyone else has been attraction-based. I have never advertised again. And so everyone said, I'm thinking about joining you. And we would meet, and I would see if we're a fit. And I'm 100% mom and pop. It's my mother-in-law is my broker. She's my boss. And before we got together, it was Colorado Homes by Melissa. She never dreamed of me. But here we are. She has a whole team under her that she didn't plan. And yeah, so basically everything's been attraction-based. And the team's really out of necessity. I'm blessed with a very abundant business, and I wish I could be everywhere at the same time, but especially after COVID, it was so hard to like show houses, write offers, because you were writing them before you even left the house. So obviously it's slowed down. Thank you, baby Jesus. But I I think right now I have 10 buyers. I cannot show 10 buyers and maintain sanity with children and a husband and a farm. So the girls do most of the showings. I basically will show up. We will do an initial consult. I might show up to inspection if I can make it. Otherwise, I see you at closing, and you're just talking to me one-on-one for all of the contracts, negotiating paperwork. And the girls are guiding you through the in-person stuff. As this team has grown, I really like I like a white glove service, but that has had to like evolve. So like we do little touches now because it is weird that you hire me but you don't see me.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Or Charlie's Angels.
Or Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, I pretend I'm Charlie, or I'm Charlie. They're my angels. So like we do little touches, like once we start looking, I send you like a buyer survival kit, or like when we do, I'm very in person for the listings, but it's for the buyers that and buyers are our bread and butter. And how I grew my business, like every first time home buyer, I want to be with you the whole way. So
but you're still their point of contact for like communication, negotiations. What price do I offer?
I do all of that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So your team is mostly showing in person, kind of hand holding that piece.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. And are they getting like a percentage? Okay.
They get a big percent.
Okay.
I want my team and my brand to, this is going to be crazy. Everyone asks me, they're always like, what? I don't want a revolving door of girls. I don't want you to think of Harold Holmes and Chelsea and like whoever she has this week. I really want that consistency, especially like when my branding, like I have these folders and on the back of it, it's us.
Yeah,
so, like,
I love it.
I don't want to have to redo this all the time. So the girls, they get 50% of the paycheck.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want them to stay.
Yeah. I
want them to feel valued and appreciated, and I need them as much as they need me. So that's really where we're at. It's obviously a big chunk, but I've also been on the other end as like that 1 month I was at a bigger brokerage. I got my check after months and months of working.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I guess it was like 3 months. And I got the check and I was like, wait, where's the rest of the check?
Yeah.
And the girl fired me for asking.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I just really like upfront would like to basically, provide this is a career and they need to pay their bills. And I want you to stay with me and build a business together. I want to build this empire together. So that is why I pay them as much as I do.
Yeah. Well, and that's how you're able to make as much as what you're able to make and handle the workload that you are, because I mean, you can't physically do that. I know when I did real estate full time, I felt the same way. And I had, 4 kids, half in school, half not. Then I was from a town that was 30 minutes away, and that's where most of my people were. And I'm like, well, I physically can't be there and get back to school in time to pick up my son. Like, it just doesn't work.
Right.
So I worked with my mom too. And so she handled a lot of that, and she lived over there. So that worked well. But I'm like, I couldn't have done it if it wasn't for her. There's no way.
And I don't want to, honestly.
Yeah.
I really want to be with my babies. So I'm happy to utilize the team and pay them fairly.
Yeah.
Do you ever get pushback from like a buyer? Like, well, I thought you were going to show us the houses.
I
Or
try
do you like kind of address it up front?
I had to learn how to address it. Because I've had the same buyer consultation for 10 years. And so it was like people felt like a little like bait and switch. So now I've let them know, like, at the last thing I say is like, I don't work on Sundays. And as I mentioned, we have the full team. So you're going to be working hand in hand with me and one of the girls, because I do have the babies. One of the girls will probably be the primary person showing you houses. And if for whatever reason they can't, I will find a way and I'll come show houses. But that's how I've addressed it. And everyone's like, great, cool, okay. And I think now that I have the team on social media, it's very clear how things work. And also, if you're watching stories, I haven't left my house most days. So, how am I selling houses? It's the team.
I love that structure. It's very like, I'll hear people that are like, I don't ever want a team. What you kind of said that, or thought that in the beginning. But if you want to scale, if you want to keep growing and you want the time balance and like freedom in your life, you have to do something different.
And it works for one of my girls has babies too, and she's happy to go show around the kids, because then I'm up sometimes till 10 o'clock writing offers, dealing with clients.
Yes.
So between the two of us, we have a thing that really like works. I have an investor, he's very needy, my only male client, and it needs two people, because I can't, show him all he wants to show and do all the paperwork he wants. Like it works for all of us because we all could have a life this way.
Did you kind of start setting them up in anticipation of having kids, or was it like after you had your first that you're like, I need to do something different?
After I had Veronica, I kind of had the two. I hired Jacqueline just before I had Veronica. And so I guess it was pre-baby. Like I was in anticipation. Like I didn't really know what was gonna be on the other side. I honestly, it was like I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know what I thought, because I was like not 100% about like being a mom, and I did willingly have my baby, but I was like, I don't know, like this wasn't what I've always dreamed of, so I didn't know what to expect. And I was like, oh, I'll just like I'll do bottle feeding, so I know she's always full.
Yeah.
Like we co-sleep. We're always together. Like I'm the exact opposite of what I wanted. But I guess I thought I was gonna put my kids in daycare and like work, and then I had them and I was like, I don't really want that. That's not what I want. Everything changed. So it was in anticipation, but as I've grown and evolved as a mom and like listened to my intuition and what was important to me, it's kind of had to grow, because again, I have too many clients for even one person to just show. Like I need the girls to split and show. And I work a large area, so that's also Colorado's so like it's close, but it's far. So we just work all over.
Yeah.
That's so cool, because what you've really done is like you've designed your life through all of these things. And I think things like your Facebook group, like how you use social media, like everything you're doing is helping that design work. Like you're not living like based on your traditional real estate mold of these are the things you do and this is how you become a top producer and then you do that. Like you're like, nope, scratch that, here's my path, and you just went for it. And like how did like I feel like so many people have the potential and they don't ever get there. And it's like, what would be your advice to them, like that person that's like they have all these big dreams and they're like on the front end, what should they do to ever start carving their own path?
I would say, so there are no rules. I think that's like people get into I'm kind of lucky in that I was with my mother-in-law and I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't know how anyone else operated. I was just telling her the other day, I was like, I wouldn't have made it if you told me to go into an office every day and like look at the big binder of books and then like play the boys game. Like I'm not willing to like do this like grunt work. Like my girls don't do grunt work. They're getting paid fairly. I wasn't going to work for like pennies for anyone else. And what's the point of building a business? I think stop thinking that you're a realtor, you're an entrepreneur. Like throw the book out the window. There are no rules. Why are you in in business for yourself if you're just going to follow what Gary Keller said in 1980? Like I don't understand.
Yes. Oh my
And
gosh.
and we're not in 1980 anymore. We're not also carrying printed binders of listings. Like why are we doing these things? There are no rules. That's my advice. There are no rules. You just need to make what fits for you. And as long as you're like, we're not doing anything illegal, you're doing your job.
Yeah.
So like you just don't have to follow these pretend rules that someone made one time.
Yeah.
So that's my advice basically. Just make it work for you.
That's
There's
so
our sizzle
good.
clip.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Sizzle clip.
It's so true because I think sometimes people they don't want to ask for permission because they know they don't need it, but they feel like they need it. Like they need that moment where they can say, you know what, here's where I'm drawing the line in the sand, and this is how I'm going to start doing things from now on. I want to hear from you because I know, I mean, you're not going everywhere all the time because you have the girls, but you're also like the girls are in a lot of your content. They're in a lot of your like listing videos and all of that. How did you approach that when you first became a mom, and how has that evolved over time, especially now having two kids?
So I only got 25 hours of childcare this year. It was 20 hours forever. That's it. That's all I had. So, it's again out of necessity. Like I have to do a listing video and I have Veronica. She's coming with me. I had someone ask me the other day, you have your kid in the listing video? And I said, yeah. And then they go, and she's at your open house? And I said, yeah.
I love it.
How does your client, what does your client say? I go, my client said they would have hired Veronica if she was of legal age. That's where we're at. And you know, I don't know what other people's kids are like, but Veronica's always come with me. Like I used to like when she was a certain age, we would do showings together. We'd go together and I'd wear the baby. We'd show houses. And no one cared. I mean, I'm a nursing mom. I'm an exclusively nursing mom. So that's a lot of like, again, out of necessity. If they're not eating food and I am the food, I guess we're going together.
Yeah.
Veronica wouldn't take a bottle. So that's really how it was. Like Veronica came along and then came Georgia and I was like, we're just going to do it again. So, Georgia will be 1 on Sunday. And so like, she's only just started getting like with the babysitter and with grandma. Otherwise she's been with me.
Yeah.
So I bring the girls if I have to bring the girls. My husband helps as much as he can. He has a full-time job as well. And he's going to have to go in the office soon. So there's that. So yeah, I just bring them along. And again, I mean, if you're following me on social media, you know exactly who I am and what I'm doing.
Right.
So I don't know where this rule is that kids can't be like my children's a part of my life. They're not like another section
Separate
of my
life.
Yes, like they're very like they come along. If we're gonna go do something, my kids come along. I don't like do children centric things. We're just living life together as a family.
Yeah.
So I maybe had the like freedom and thought to do that because I had my dad was a single father. My mom died when I was little. So I was always with my dad. I never went to daycare. He was disabled, so he didn't work. But I was always with my dad, and I was like, if he went somewhere, I went somewhere. So why can't my kids go with me?
Yeah.
So like maybe that was like a kudos to him for doing that and being a single father, always with us.
Yeah.
So I just basically do the same. I'm always with my girls, and I want to be with them. You know, if I have to go drive to go do all this stuff, like let's go to the park after. Let's spend time together. So I just kind of like that's how I do it. They're my priority. I'm grateful for my business, but I'm being a mom is my priority, and I just want to fit my life around that basically.
You're like the perfect example of you can do both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think that they can't, or they think, well, I don't have childcare, so I'm restricted to this thing, or I have 3 kids, so I can't do social media. I don't have time for social media. Like you really truly weave everything together. and you do it so beautifully. And
Mhm.
I think it looks effortless, and it probably is effortless to you at this point, as far as like you're not overthinking it, like you're just living it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where too on social media, and correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of just document that. Like that's
100%.
a lot of your social media, right?
Yeah. It's just like every day, just
Mhm.
living my life. So yeah, that's all I do. And I don't know. I just don't think balance is real. It's all
Mhm.
just kind of a wave that you're riding. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
not like you see in like girl boss, like, how do you do it?
Mhm.
You just do it. That's it.
Hmm.
Like, however you have to do it, however you have to show up, you just do it.
Yeah. I always laugh because I'm like, no one ever asks my husband how he balances work and
Never,
family.
never,
Mhm.
But I
never.
hear it all the time, and he's busier than I am. But I'm like, oh my goodness. But no, it does go to show too. Like, I think the reason that you probably haven't had a ton of pushback from clients when you show up with your kids and all of that is because you've established your brand and you've put it out there, like what you've said. Like, that's what we're saying when we try to teach people. Like, if you would just lean into who you are and like get clear on your brand, you're going to have a business that you love. You're going to have clients that you can't wait to meet. You're going to never feel bad if your kid wakes up in the middle of the night throwing up. Like, you're going to have permission and like the ability to live your life, and your business is just going to support that. Like, it's not going to be in the way of that.
And again, why be self-employed if you're not building a business that supports the life you want to live? I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. But
So
realtors tell themselves it's
counterintuitive.
impossible. Yeah. But I think like agents have told themselves, like, nope, I have to be available 24/7. I better be on the grocery cart, sign. I better be on a billboard, and I've got to carry business cards and wear a name tag. And like, I think most of our listeners aren't that way, but like, most of our listeners at least work in a brokerage where there's someone that way. And, I think it's okay to look at that and think, what are we
I don't
doing?
want that.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm confused about where like the broker got all this power. Because like you could work at a bazillion brokerages, you could work in the cloud ones, like there you could do it yourself. Like who made up the rule that like we're supposed to do everything that they do? And that drove me crazy when I started real estate. And I was like, who's following this? Like I'm the only one responsible for getting paid right now. Why would I ever listen to what you're telling me to do?
Yes, and I mean, I've been lucky that I've been with my mother-in-law the entire
Mhm.
time, and other than that brief period, and
How did that go? I'm just kidding.
I just like I was like, I need to see if there's something else
Like
out there.
midlife crisis style,
Yeah,
like
and
real quick.
I left, and I was like, oh, what do these people do? They're like, we need to cold call today. We
Mhm.
need to call everyone in your phone with this script. You need to do all these things, and I was like, this is unhinged. Why is anyone doing this? So, and like I've always kind of had this entrepreneur like spirit, and I'm like, I think that's like where people get confused. Like, there's like this character of a realtor, and they must like fit it, and I'm like, but you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. Like, you're literally your own boss.
Yeah.
Who cares about like all this? Like, I don't know. And like, I don't think the brokerages matter. I don't think any of that matters. It's just you are your brand.
Yep.
People overthink all of it, like all the things, the colors, the branding, where to go, who to work for, and it's like just stay in your own lane in every aspect of all of those answers to those questions, and you're gonna be so much better off.
Yeah.
Like if you were telling someone advice, like sitting down, like I could see you having a podcast and mentoring people because you have so much free time, and but like what would you tell someone that was like, okay, well, I love how you started, like you did the Facebook group thing, you do events, you are social media focused, but like someone starting today in 2025 that was brand new, like, and they're like, well, I want to do something along those lines, like how would you recommend they start? Like your passion was other women owned businesses, but it could be anything, right? It could be animals, maybe you're obsessed with animals. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be a million
Whatever
things.
your community is, yes, like
Mhm.
whatever your community is. If you're like really into the clown community or into animals, I don't know, like whatever it is, yes. Like you're in a Gilmore Girls fan group, like yes, all of those things. So I get this question like every day in my Instagram. So my advice is to look for brokerages that are going to benefit you. I think everyone forgets that you're not getting hired. You're going somewhere where you're going to be supported to grow your business. So like whatever that is that you need, I need my mother-in-law to just be my boss and leave me alone. So that's what we do.
Yeah.
And over time, I like learned from other agents. The internet is a wealth of information. You can learn how to do this job and never be at a giant brokerage with all of the training. But if the training's important to you, get the training. And if it's not the vibe, then go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's my first advice. And then from there, do what you love. Like if it feels what works with you. Like I'm happy to be on social media. I am not happy to like do in-person nonstop like
Yeah.
buyer meetings and not like when they do like those first time home buyer classes. I don't want to do them. I don't want to do them. I don't want to have like a public speaking thing, but like I can show up live on social media and talk to you all day from the comfort of my home. I'm happy to throw my events that I'm into. So like what vibes with you? Like just think about that. There are no rules. You could do whatever you want. You just need to like listen to what feels right, what is flowing positively with you, and what's not working. Like what's draining you, don't do that. You don't have to do it, so don't do it.
Yeah.
That's my advice basically. And I think it's really like trusting in yourself, in your ability, and also knowing like there is no secret. It's like getting in shape. There is no magic secret pill. You're not gonna like magically have a real estate business in 3 months, maybe in 6 months. I mean, but it's I cried every day as a new realtor. Will I ever make money? Like, will it happen?
Yeah.
And I just had to like trust what I was doing, and I kept doing it. And whatever those things are that you decide to do, you just have to be consistent with it. Like every day that you're crying, will I have a paycheck? Cry and say, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep doing it. And it builds on itself, and it will build a business, and you will see the return. But it's staying brave, staying scared, and just keep doing it, but listening to like what works for you, what's not draining, what's giving you energy, and do those things.
Yeah. That's so good.
That's the best advice.
And I know in like our membership, I mean, you share so many little successes, whether you've put something out there and you've got a bunch of signups or, talking to 2 new home buyers or whatever. And we always remind our members, like, just remember, it's not because she woke up today and decided to share this piece of content. It's because you have put in the work. Like you have done the work to position yourself as the real estate go-to girl in your area. And that's why now it comes a lot easier. And so we remind our members all the time, but also remind anyone that's listening is like, yes, put in the work, do the thing, and be consistent even when you get no results, because eventually it'll stick. And meanwhile, don't just put in the work for the sake of checking a box, but like do the things that are outside the box. Do the things that, have the brand colors that nobody else is having, and like structure your team in a way. Yeah. Like think outside the box, and like what you said, make your own rules, and they're much more likely to see success and much more likely to see it faster.
And I think people on the outside can see when you're doing stuff you don't like that you're doing. Like the vibes, the energy, it shows on social media. And also like I try to think about like what would I like to consume? You know what I mean? And I think you've mentioned this a million times, Chelsea. Like who are you following? Like think about who you're following and why you're following them. And that's really how you're just gonna like find what works for you.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned Saban. Like who inspires you like from a business standpoint that you're like, I listen to them, or I listen to that podcast, or I follow, keeps me motivated?
I don't anymore.
You don't?
It exhausts me, I think, especially since becoming a mom. Like I loved Jenna Kutcher. I'm too tired to hear the stuff. I can't do it. Listen, I guess if anyone, it's Lauren Bostic, the Skinny Confidential. I've been a loyal Skinny Confidential girly since the beginning. Like she used to send out like pop sockets. I had the TSC pop sockets, like obsessed. So like Lauren Bostic, the Him and Her podcast, if I have to hear it, is from Lauren. She's like my soul sister. I love her.
I love her
can
see
too.
that. So
I'm not her. I'm not an OG, but I do love her.
Oh my gosh. I have a bookmark from her. Like I have like things that she like hand sent me. And I'm like, Lauren, do you remember me when you were like small?
Look, she did the same thing. She built her community by relationships in small, subtle, step-by-step ways. And now look at them. Now they were on the Kardashians.
Currently wearing the skin tint. I did the eyebrow stuff. I drink the electrolytes. I'm about to buy the toilet paper. So it works.
It works. I
Yeah.
love it all. This was such a good conversation, and I think that you are someone, like we said when we even heard it straight from the people. So many other agents look up to you and like would love to build a business like you. And I know that this will be such a helpful episode for them to hear. Yeah. And like so many little sizzle clips, sizzle moments.
Everyone's coming in saying, "What's for dinner? What's for dinner?"
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I'm going to be done in about 2 minutes.
The kids are on the podcast. Bring your kids back.
I know, right? You want to say hi, Lottie? There you go. Okay. Well, you kind of already answered it, but we had kind of talked before about asking anytime we have a member on the podcast, like if anyone's listening to this and they're on the fence about joining, what would you tell them? You kind of already touched on it, but is there anything else you would say as far as like, if someone's like, oh my gosh, like I would love to have the same results or build a business, especially like this summer, like all those things, like what would you tell them?
I mean, well, utilize social media. Join Modern Agent Social Club. This is the summer that we turned local. Didn't you hear? And so all you have to do to turn local is live your life. I know everyone's like, I don't go out that much. I don't go out that much, and I managed to go outside and like grab a coffee here and there. Yeah. Or I often walk in businesses and I say, I'm just taking clips for social media. And they just like, literally, I just did this, and they handed me the food. They go, here you go. Take it. Oh my
gosh, I love that.
Just tell them.
Advertising.
Yes. Yeah. And so someone just sent me a story from this lady, and the lady said, follow your local realtor because she has all the local recs.
Yes.
Okay, like it's a thing. So I've been doing it for a decade. You can start doing it right now.
Yeah.
And then the only thing, my little hack is like I have a boutique I love. I go through their followers and I start engaging with those girlies because if we like the same thing, that's how you're going to start building recognition and connections quicker. Yeah. So start looking at like the local businesses that you love. And my other advice is every time you like film something, tag the city it's in. Yes. Because the cities started sharing me every time I make a reel. So I don't know. Cool. Those are some hacks.
Thank you for being here, Chelsea. I love talking to you. I could talk to you every week. Again, you should have a podcast.
Thank you.
You could turn your local account into podcast episodes.
I could, but you know, with all that free time.
Right. Yeah, seriously. When your kids are 10.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. That's so cool. Chelsea, you're a breath of fresh air. This has been so good. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Very
Thanks,
cool.
Chelsea. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See you next Tuesday.